Hey,
Hi,
how are you?
how are you? Good morning. Well, I don't know what time it is over there.
It is 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
not in the
It's
morning. Oh my gosh, not in the morning, thank God.
not a, yeah, I know. It's crazy. So you're in, where are
I-
you exactly?
I'm in the UK.
Oh,
Um,
perfect.
yeah, still full on lockdown here. I don't know what it is about where you are.
It's actually I'm like in the worst place. I'm in
Oh,
New York City in Queens, and this is kind of like the epicenter of everything. We've had the most deaths, most
oh,
infections. So we are still in lockdown and we are not entering phase one until beginning or mid-June.
oh my God.
So yeah,
Yeah,
so it's you
that's
know,
crazy.
we're
Oh my gosh.
it's been crazy. It's been a crazy few months. But I'm so glad that you're with Stad Life. I've been working with them for a couple of years now with Julie.
Yeah,
And
it's amazing. I really like the service. I think it's so useful, like right now, especially when people's hair are getting really long. So yeah,
it's totally, I mean,
I,
everybody's kind of just tuning, everybody's just trying to do the same thing now. Everything's going virtual.
mm,
And, Julie has had this idea for a while, so she's been on the right track.
yeah.
So at least she doesn't have to start it from scratch. She's already had the platform.
Definitely, definitely. So we'll just start by you introducing yourself to people who don't know you. So why did you decide to become a styled life stylist, and what kind of clients do you have at the moment?
So, like I said, I started with Styled Life a couple of years ago, and I didn't even know that something like this could exist. And so it was very interesting, and I was very intrigued. And I was already a working makeup artist, working hairstylist. So I, with this platform, I was able to help those who needed that last minute help
Yeah,
or any help. Um, and not have to leave to go anywhere, just to be in the comfort of their home.
yeah,
So that really kind of just got me into joining the team, because if I'm able to help in any way in the comfort of my home as well, and and be able to just teach them whatever it is and walk through whatever it is that they needed, was just something I found very, very interesting. So
yeah.
that's what got me into the Stad Life team, and I'm really grateful and happy to be a part of it.
Oh, that's lovely. We've been talking a lot about in these lives about how beauty is sometimes being neglected at this time, and to what extent is beauty self-care. I was wondering if you also had any self-care tips for this time.
Yeah, you know what? I am really into skincare now. I wasn't really into it before. I knew the importance of skincare, but we're always rushing out, so we're like, we don't have the time to do anything. So I took into account the other home skincare products that I wasn't able to use up before because of time issues. I was a full-time head of hair and makeup at Amazon Live, and we're on pause right now. But now that I'm at home, I was able to try, a skincare company sent me a couple of things to try. So I was able to try micro needling,
Oh,
which I didn't even know about. So I was like, whoa. And I'm supposed to do it once a week. So I did it last Saturday. I'm really into it, to doing it again. And just more consistent masks.
mm,
And and you know what? I was also able to kind of go through and declutter my skincare and makeup stuff that I
yeah,
didn't have time to before. And that is kind of like a self-care thing, when you're cleansing and
definitely.
filtering through the clutter that you've had built up in your home. So that was great. So I think self-care is a lot about just, taking the time to do what you had wanted to do
Yeah,
and never got the time to do it.
definitely. Yeah, that's totally 100% on point, I think.
Yeah.
So you mentioned Amazon. What was working with Amazon Live like, and explain what it is to people who don't know.
Sure. So Amazon Live started a show a couple of years ago. It's a digital live show. If you want to compare it to QVC, it's very similar, wherein they feature different types of products ranging from household products to tech to makeup to fashion to kitchen appliances. And then they kind of just have like a range of hosts demoing the product. Sometimes I'm on air to show any makeup or beauty tips and tricks.
Okay.
And while you're watching, you can purchase the product then and there, and
Okay.
you get it like in a day or
Wow.
two. So they launched it a couple of years ago. I've been on their team for a few years now, and it's so much fun. I love my job. We're on pause right now, so it's a little uh it's a little, kind of what are we going to do? But
Yeah.
I'm trying to stay creative. I don't usually do a lot of looks on myself because I'm so busy doing it on other people, and I love that fact about being a makeup artist is I
Yeah.
get to make up other people, not just me. But I don't have anybody to do makeup on. So I've kind of just been staying creative and, like I said, taking the time to do what I would not have done
Mm.
if I and now that I have the time, I was able to create a lot of makeup looks and on myself, and was able to photograph them and just stay creative that way.
Yeah, I guess it's another way to do self-care, isn't it? Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw your TikTok videos. They look amazing and very informative.
TikTok is so much fun.
It actually is. It's great.
I did not jump on the bandwagon like in the beginning because I was like, what is this? This is just another thing to focus on and to absorb my time. But I found it so educational. Like there were some things that I learned on TikTok that I had no idea.
Yeah, it's such a good
Did,
platform.
yeah, and so it really passes the time and you're like, "Oh my gosh, it's been half an hour and
Yeah,
I'm just on TikTok."
just scrolling. Yeah,
I'm just like,
the
"Oh my
algorithm
gosh."
is so good.
I know nothing about that, but
Me
it's
neither,
just
but
fun for me.
that's a word that people use. So you've done a lot of comedic shows and advertisements. How does makeup differ from the serious shows to the more comedic ones?
Some people don't understand that makeup is so expansive. Like it's just, I learned through my many, many years of doing makeup and hair that TV makeup is very different from theater makeup, very
Mm.
different from print makeup, very different from editorial makeup,
Yeah.
very different from beauty, very different from bridal. And it's you really have to learn how to adjust. Yeah, I wouldn't even categorize it as comedic and serious. I think I would have to categorize it as the genre or the type of show or medium that you're doing. So if you're doing TV, especially now that everything's going digital, it is so important. The makeup that I do on TV on Amazon Live is very different than what I would do if I were to do a print catalog.
Mm.
You know, doing live show makeup, you have no time or no space or no
Yeah.
room for error because
Yeah.
it's live. And you're on standby for touch ups. And there were many times that I had to stand by because a hair is out of place or somebody was a little shiny. And I literally had to run in during a live show while they cut away the camera to
Oh,
powder, yeah, to powder the host
oh,
because there's just no room for error and you have to be on standby at all times. So that's the difference between a live show and TV makeup versus like a print catalog where you're on set for 12
yeah.
hours and you have time where they could say makeup and you just are able to touch up because it's photos, and a lot of it has to and they photoshop the photos,
Yeah.
so there's a little bit of room for error versus like a live show makeup where I really have to make somebody look absolutely flawless on TV.
How does the men's makeup differ from the women's makeup that you bought? Because
Men's makeup is so easy. Men's grooming is really just, and it depends on the guy too, because
yeah,
the guy could say, I don't want a lot of makeup. I've gotten a lot of athletes that don't want an ounce of makeup.
fair enough.
So, so there's a product where you could just kind of reduce the shine or remove the shine that has no color. So that I would put on them. But if they're open to doing makeup, I'd be able to put a little bit of foundation, some powder, um, and brows, like really clean up their brows, brush them out, and a lip balm. And if they're and you have to add a little bit of a bronzer too, just so they don't look so flat.
Yeah.
So a little bit of color. Very, very easy, very, very quick. Versus like a female who wants like glam lashes and hair done and everything. Yeah. So when I do the guys, it's very, very quick. It's like a turnstile.
Do you have any acne covering advice for people who have acne?
I mean, I have my friends over here that are just showing up like out of nowhere. And I think, yeah, girl, it's all good. I think it's from the micro needling and my skin detoxing. So if you do have acne, number one, get it treated. Okay,
Yes.
use some kind of treatment to treat it. Um, to cover, you need color correctors. So let's say you have a red pimple. Um, you wanna, and if you have a color corrector in green, definitely put that down first, blend it out, and then put on a concealer. If you have just like a bump that's still your skin, still your skin tone, then you could use just your concealer and then definitely set it with a loose translucent powder.
Yeah.
If you have yeah, and then it depends on the color too. Red, you have to contrast that with green. If you have any discoloration, like any purpley or bluish discoloration but of bumps, you got to use something to contrast that, which is an orange or a yellow.
Okay. Cool.
So it's really just concealer, and definitely that concealer has to be more of a medium to full coverage, and then set it with a light powder, translucent powder.
Great, thank you.
You're
Do
welcome.
you equally have any anti-aging tips?
You know what? You really just have to take care of your skin
Yeah.
and stay out of the sun as much as you can. But if you can't help it, wear SPF.
Mm.
Definitely wear SPF, and SPF comes at the very end. So you do all your skincare routine, then you can pile on your SPF.
Cool, thank
And
you.
yeah, definitely do that.
So what's your to-go couple of products for a simple makeup look, or what's your kind of tips for a simple makeup look?
Mascara is definitely something that I can't live without. And I mean, this doesn't look like it's a lot, but it is. Mascara I can't live without, and some kind of a lip balm, or even like a tinted lip balm, just to add some color. And honestly, and or my brows. Like without these brows, I just have like the thinnest brows from over plucking when I was in my preteens.
Oh.
So yeah, so these are definitely groomed brows that I have to do. So if you have brows, great. But if you don't, definitely put that in your arsenal.
Cool. Thank you very much. So
Sure.
what was your I saw that you met RuPaul. What was that like? And do you have any other celebrity fangirl moments while you've been working?
Yeah, RuPaul was amazing. He was so nice. Just amazing. Gosh, that was like a few years ago. I'm a very big football fan. So when I met Michael Strahan and Victor Cruz, I was definitely fangirling. I did a lot of like football analysts too, that I was a very big fan of, like Troy Aikman. So, I'm just like, it was, but now it doesn't kind of faze me anymore because, I'm just like, listen, I got a job to do.
Yeah.
And as much as I want to fangirl, I have to keep it profesh.
Yes, of course.
So, but definitely like any of the athletes, like Robert Gronkowski from New England Patriots, like I had to do, he didn't want makeup at all. He was just like, just a little bit of powder. He was like a refrigerator, like standing over me. And even on the chair, I had to lower the chair down. But he was so cool. He autographed my son's football.
Oh.
So he was so nice. He was so cool. So I fangirl over the athletes for obvious reasons.
Oh, bless you. I mean, to be fair, I would just fangirl over everyone who I slightly know.
Yeah.
So,
oh, you know what? I didn't fangirl. I met Ariana Grande because I'm really good friends with Frankie.
Right.
And she was the sweetest person. I mean, that the whole entire family is just the sweetest people. And
Oh,
Frankie is, they have such good hearts. And Ariana is just, she was a doll. And, you know, I did Frankie's makeup a lot. So I was able to meet her a couple of times, and she was just heavenly. She was amazing.
that's so interesting.
Yeah.
It sounds like from what you're saying that you kind of meet the person, you realize what they're like, and you realize what they want, and then you do their makeup. So do you do like any prep of what you think they would look good on them, or do you wait until they kind of they say what they want?
At this point, the the people that I've been doing at Amazon, I've been doing for a while.
Yeah.
The there are guests and experts that come from time to time, and I ask them, this is the very first thing I ask them is, what are you wearing?
Mm,
What are you wearing? What is your wardrobe for the show? And then I kind of expand on that and say, what is it that what do you usually do in terms of makeup? How do you do your hair? And then I kind of expand on that. So I make my adjustments then and there. I won't just sit them down unless they're a guy. I know what to do, but hair is tricky for guys. You really have to ask if they want to do it themselves or
yeah.
I do it. But with females, what are you wearing? Because I'm obviously not gonna put, you know, a red lip on you if you have all, you know, like a whole bunch of colors going on. You know, it's just we have to balance it out because
Yeah.
makeup is part of your wardrobe and
Cool.
hair too.
That's interesting, actually.
Yeah.
Um, so you've been involved in a lot over the years. Which project you've had most fun with?
I think Amazon was really once I got into Amazon a few years ago, it was that was just the best experience of
Mm,
my life, and it really catapulted me to now my role now. I'm like head of hair and makeup at Amazon Live. So I think that was kind of like a really life-changing experience because number one, it was their first show. It was
mm,
their very first live digital show. So it was a really great start to my career with Amazon.
yeah. I I know this is probably random, but I saw that you gave some makeup to some nurses and doctors and stuff. That's crazy. Like what impact do you think that had?
I really wanted to help. Like I
Mm,
told you before, Queens and NYC was the epicenter. My friend worked at the hospital that was in the middle of the entire crisis, who witnessed and experienced most of the deaths in New York. And she is an avid makeup lover. I always used to give her makeup. And I would get a lot of makeup because of PR agencies. They would just send me makeup to try out at Amazon and so forth. So she gave me so I said Denise, which is her name, and she just was going through so much. She was losing health, you know, coworkers left and right and patients left and right. So I said, oh, so could I help in any way? How could I help in any way? And I said, why don't, you know, why don't I just give all what I have and give as much as I can? Because these nurses and these healthcare workers had to throw away all the makeup that they had because they were afraid of contamination.
oh gosh.
I didn't know how else to do it. I couldn't donate financially,
Yeah, yeah.
obviously. So what I had is what I could give.
I think that's such a good idea, actually. I think that's
Yeah.
going to inspire a lot of people. Um, so have you made any lifelong friends from the incredible opportunities that you've had? And have you got any funny client stories?
100%. Well, 100% to both questions. I
Yeah.
made so many amazing, met so many amazing people that have become friends of mine. And funny stories? Oh gosh. I think every time I work is fun. And I mean, I've like Amazon every day is so much fun. Like we'll do like random TikTok dance videos.
Oh. So cute.
And you know, and then it's just a whole, like that one time that I had to jump into a live show to touch up people,
Oh.
to touch up somebody for a powder. That was so much fun because you literally see me, and I think I posted it on Instagram.
I think I
You
saw it actually.
literally, it's, I think it's on there. I'm like scurrying, and like there was a dog in the show, and the dog had to like he had to like jump back, like, oh God, this girl is running towards us. It was so much fun. And then Amazon, like they have me sometimes on air, and we did like a football trivia show, and I won. So it's just a whole lot of fun. Listen, you gotta love what you do,
Mm.
and that's what makes it that's what makes me feel so blessed, that I love what I do and I have fun doing it. And doing makeup is not serious. I'm not saving lives. I'm making people look pretty, but I'm so blessed to be able to call it a job and a career.
Do you actually have any advice to those people who do want to become makeup artists, especially for people who want to do like film and TV?
You know, nowadays it's all about social media and what you show on social media, but people are forgetting, and I think these aspiring makeup artists are forgetting that in order to be a makeup artist, you still have to hustle. You still have to practice on all types of people, regardless of you know, you have to know how to deal with any type of skin color, skin tone, skin texture, different hair texture, different hair color. Um, and all the different makeup styles, and you'll be able to do that if you practice. And I really had to work my butt off, and worked a lot with photographers. There was no social media back then, so I worked with photographers a lot, and for free, just to do different photo shoots, just to get different photos, just to work on different people. And you just gotta make sure that regardless who you meet, you'll know how to do the job.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. I didn't have any more questions for you. I was wondering if you had any closing thoughts.
Um, you know, I'm a big believer in what Julie and Styled Life is about, and I hope so many more people really get to venture and take the time to sit down with an expert and learn like whatever, and learn anything that they've been wanting to learn. And thank you so much for having me. I'm like so honored and
Oh,
grateful for this.
I have you. Oh my
And
God.
yeah, and I really hope, you know, Styled Life, I wish for more success for them, and I'm here if you guys need me.
Cool. Thank you so much. It's been amazing. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Thank you, Matilda. Bye.
Bye. Bye.